Wow, it is that time of year again. It is time to rank my 25 favorite roller coasters for the year. I know this is coming out in January, but we're recapping 2024 and taking a look at my 25 favorite coasters. We got the chance to visit Europe again, experience some amazing coasters, and for the first time I think ever, I was able to re-ride more than 2/3 of my current list this year. So a lot of the spots have drastically changed. There's also some new coasters making the cut. So join me as we dive into my 25 favorite roller coasters. 25, Wodan Timber Coaster. Kicking off the list is one of the most surprising coasters I had the pleasure of experiencing this year, Wodan Timber Coaster. This ride is one of the most relentless wooden coasters out there. While it may not be the longest, its legendary pacing combined with next level airtime makes it truly exceptional. It's an incredibly intense woody, and there are so many moments where it feels like it's going too fast, which is exactly what makes it such an amazing ride. 24, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Guardians of the Galaxy earned its place as one of the greatest roller coasters of all time. There's truly nothing else like it. The ride's uniqueness is unmatched, the backwards launch never fails to thrill, and the spinning motion through its winding layout creates an experience unlike anything I've ever encountered. Some sections pack a surprising intensity, and the theming is absolutely phenomenal. Every corner of this massive show building is carefully designed, creating an immersive atmosphere, and when I got Everybody Wants to Rule the World or I Ran as my soundtrack, the experience is elevated to a whole new level. This is easily one of my favorite attractions of all time. 23. Ghost Rider. One of the greatest wooden coasters ever built. Even though it's been 7 years since I last rode it, the experience has stuck with me. The CCI masterpiece is packed with relentless airtime and intense laterals that leave you breathless. I still remember my first ride. I was blown away by how wild this coaster truly is. The airtime in the back row, especially on the drop after the mid-course, is insane. The pacing is on another level, delivering non-stop chaos from start to finish. It's also remarkably smooth for a wooden coaster, making the experience all the more incredible. I've yet to find another wooden coaster that matches the sheer insanity of Ghost Rider. I'm hoping to re-ride it later this year, but trust me, you won't fully understand how wild this ride is until you experience it for yourself. 22. Wonder Woman Flight of Courage. Now here's a ride that I will say is truly underrated. The first drop is phenomenal, especially in the back row, and the inversions absolutely make this ride. It features one of the best zero-G stalls I've done, and the single rail design elevates all the inversions into something truly fun and unique. Every airtime moment hits that strong flow-jector feeling, keeping the ride exciting from start to finish. The extended ending with its wave turn and overbank was a standout for me as well. It added so much to the ride experience and became one of my favorite parts. I didn't expect this to be my favorite coaster on Magic Mountain, but it just shows how good this ride really is. 21. Copperhead Strike. Here's a coaster that never fails to blow my mind year after year. Copperhead Strike is an ejector airtime machine. On top of that, I'm a total sucker for hang time, and this ride delivers in spades. The ride is non-stop whirlwind, twisting and turning around itself at breakneck speed, leaving you constantly wondering what on earth is happening next. It's the perfect mix of fun and chaos, and I can't help but adore every moment on this ride. 20. Storm Chaser. When it comes to smaller coasters that pack a vicious punch, Storm Chaser stands out. The airtime on this ride is killer. Nearly every element delivers that signature RMC airtime. What truly sets this coaster apart is its pacing. It holds its speed and intensity better than 90% of coasters out there. Sure, it's on the shorter end, and it doesn't hit quite as hard as some of the bigger ones, but it's still undeniably one of the wildest rides around. 19. Orion. This ride remains to be one of my all-time favorites. Its first drop is one of the best on any coasters, giving an incredible rush right out of the gate. The ride's speed is impeccable, and its pacing is next level. While it's not the longest coaster out there, it more than makes up for it with its quality. The airtime is great with its back-to-back speed hill and massive bunny hill. It has some surprisingly forceful moments, and the ride ends with an absolute bang. A firmer ride on this coaster is a core memory, and it's hands down the best ride in the park. 18. Tatus. Tatus is easily one of the most intense coasters I've ever experienced. The theming is really well executed, but it's the layout that truly sets the ride apart. The first half is incredibly snappy, with each launch delivering a powerful kick. The airtime throughout this section is legendary. After the top half, the ride becomes pure non-stop action. The stall is breathtaking, the straight airtime hill is phenomenal, the double up finale is messed up. From start to finish, this coaster is relentless. It feels like a battle in the best way possible. 17. Conda. This ride is the epitome of a perfect mega coaster. Its first drop is arguably one of the snappiest and greatest of all time. Every airtime moment hits hard, and the forces on the pullouts are wild. The speed and pacing are flawless. It doesn't let up for a second until it hits the brake run. In just over a minute, it delivers one of the craziest sequence of elements imaginable. Even standing in front of this coaster is an out-of-body experience, but riding it, that takes things to a whole other level. Without question, Conda is one of Intamin's greatest creations. 16. Helix. Now, here's a coaster that I'm still blown away by. This ride is absolutely insane. It's Mach's masterpiece. The way it effortlessly follows the terrain is remarkable, but what truly stands out is its phenomenal layout. It's packed with unexpected inversions, snappy transitions, incredible airtime moments, and on top of that, it's a long ride that wastes no time, kicking into action the moment you leave the station. It's the definition of a perfect coaster. It had me in awe for my entire day at Liseberg, and this ride alone is worth the trip to Sweden. 15. Tomorrowland Ride to Happiness. Ride to Happiness might just be the most chaotic roller coaster in existence, and I wouldn't have it any other way. The ride is pure insanity from start to finish, but the spinning element, why not at this point? The JoJo roll right out of the station delivers jaw-dropping hang time, and the launches pack a surprising punch. Every airtime moment feels like it's trying to launch you out of your seat, and the inversions combined with the spinning just leaves you completely disoriented in the best way possible. Even the second half of this ride is just as wild as the first. It's easily the most out of control ride you'll ever experience. 14. Lightning Run. I know this is surprising, but Lightning Run is nothing short of incredible. It's a coaster that doesn't get enough praise. The first time I rode it, I was just stunned by the airtime and flawless pacing. It's like if RMC made a traditional steel coaster. I'm still amazed that this is the only one of its kind. It deserves to be at every park. It's incredibly smooth. It features what I consider to be one of the best first drops of all time. With its intensity, quick transitions, and next level airtime, Lightning Run is a severely underrated gem. 13. Twisted Timbers. This is nothing short of incredible. This RMC is perfect in its own unique way. The drop is a blast, and the 3 bunny hills are pure airtime magic. The trick track double up delivers the strongest airtime pop out there, and from start to finish, the ride is a chaotic thrill, and I live for it. The pacing is great, with elements staying low to the ground after the first drop. All the inversions add a fun twist, but it's the relentless airtime hitting from every angle that really makes this coaster stand out. Number 12. Steel Vengeance. Look, I know this coaster fell down in the rankings, but you still gotta give it its praise. It is absolutely mind-blowing a coaster like this exists. It has everything you want. Insane ejector airtime, brutal transitions, and an action-packed layout from start to finish, and it delivers on all fronts. If you get a trimless ride on this thing, it is hands down the best coaster in the world. When the trims hit, which unfortunately most of the time it does, it lacks. But from the drop all the way to the end, it is a back-to-back ejector finale. It does maintain its pacing pretty well and forces without missing a beat, and there truly is no other coaster like it, and it will forever be one of my all-time favorites. 11. Fly. Fly is simply a stunning coaster. It truly demonstrates the incredible potential of a flying coaster, and I've never been this impressed by one until Fly. It's just as breathtaking to watch off-ride as it is to experience on-ride. The entire start of the ride is epic. The inversions are perfect, but what really stands out is how this ride constantly keeps you guessing what's coming next. You could not pay me to memorize this layout. The theming is off the charts and the ride is incredibly smooth. It's a blast and I really wish I had more opportunities to ride it. Number 10. Der Schwur des Carin. Kicking off the top 10 is one of the most phenomenal coasters out there. Carin starts with a pitch black pre-section, building the anticipation as you ascend the vertical lift. And without giving too much away, the surprise on the lift is something. And once you reach the top, you will go down what I consider to be the greatest first drop in the world. My back row ride on this thing will forever remain in my head for how messed up it really was. After that, the rest of this ride continues with sheer intensity, packed with high-speed transitions and great airtime moments. The inversion at the end is a perfect way to cap off the experience. I went in with high expectations and this ride blew them all out of the water, and I would go back to Europe solely for this coaster. Number 9. Fury 325. What more is there to say about Fury? The speed alone puts it in the top 10, but it's the whole experience that blows you away. The low to the ground start is one of my all-time favorite elements. Just transitioning that low to the ground going 90 miles per hour is like nothing else. And when you hit the airtime hills, it doesn't gently lift you up, it throws you into it. Combine this with its incredible pacing, legendary first drop, you've got one perfect ride. Smooth, exhilarating, and absolutely glorious. Fury is B&M's crowning achievement, and it'll be a long time before we see another coaster that compares. Number 8. Iron Guazi. Every time I ride this coaster, I'm reminded just how incredible it is. It blows my mind. The drop is insane, the first outer bank is brutal, the death roll's as wild as it looks, the wave turn feels like it's trying to take you out, the airtime finale always leaves my thigh bruised. Riding Iron Guazi on a hot summer day is... yeah. There's really no other way to describe it. The ride feels like it shouldn't even exist, but somehow it does in the best way possible, and I'm beyond grateful that it's just a couple hours away from me. Number 7. Air Force One. This ride is arguably the craziest roller coaster in America. Every time I ride it, I'm left gasping for breath by the time I hit the brakes. It's one of the only coasters I would say is better slow because of how powerful it is. The drop and Raven Pass make it for an incredible start, setting the stage for one of the best zero-G stalls and the wildest outer bank hill you'll find. Add in the mind-blowing ejector hill and a ridiculously intense back section, and you're getting started, because then comes the quad down, and you can just kiss your thighs goodbye at that point. It is arguably the most intense airtime sequence you'll ever find. It's honestly a bit scary how insane this ride is. RMC and Fun Spot created an enthusiast's dream, and I never expected it to be my favorite RMC, but here we are. Number 6. Maverick. If you want to talk about a ride that's intense, snappy, and just straight powerful, well, look no further. This ride proves that size doesn't matter when it comes to coasters. The speed and pacing are on a whole different level. It features one of the craziest first drops you'll find. The transitions happen in a blur. The airtime is relentless. Add 2 inversions, 2 launches, wild stangle dive, more intense ejector hills, cause why not? After re-riding it this year, Maverick skyrocketed in my rankings, becoming my favorite ride at Cedar Point and one of the best Intamin coasters in the world. Number 5. Jurassic World Velocicoaster. Yeah, this ride is still the real deal. From the incredible theming to the powerful launches, the best inversions on any coaster, the deadly airtime, and the amazing night rides, this ride is perfection. The queue, the entrance, the entire experience, it's perfect. The first half is great. Insane snappy elements, incredible airtime, and stunning rockwork and landscaping that's thrilling without being too intense. Then, it gets intense and launches you into the second half, which is so thrilling that by the time you hit the stall, you forgot about the first half. The ride is simply unbelievable. It's still my favorite coaster in Florida, and I will forever adore this ride. Number 4. Batman Gotham City Escape. This ride is one of a kind. The launches pack such a punch, especially the first one, and the first inversion and stall delivers some of the best hang time I've found. The top hat is fantastic, and every transition is so quick and snappy with crazy airtime throughout. There's so many unexpected moments that really catch you off guard, plus the theming is top notch. Without a doubt, it is one of Intamin's best launch coasters. Number 3. Intimidator 305, or Pantherian, or Project 305, whatever. It is without a doubt the most powerful, intense, and intimidating coaster out there. The first turnaround nearly made me pass out from its sheer force, and I'm not exaggerating. The airtime's fantastic, but what really stands out are the transitions. Just wow. It whips you into the next direction so fast you can't even anticipate what's coming. I'm honestly at a loss for words when it comes to this ride. It's the only one that's truly left me speechless, and I can't wait to get back on it. Its insane forces, relentless speed and pacing and airtime makes it one of my favorite coasters in America. Number 2, the Voyage. Listen, I was a huge hater of this coaster for years. I first rode it in 2021 and thought it was fine, but definitely overrated and way too rough to enjoy. Gave it another shot in early 2024 right after its retracking. And while I thought it had improved and the roughness was gone, I still didn't get what all the hype was about because I thought the airtime was still very mediocre. Then I went to the world famous Hollywood Nights for a redemption ride, gave it a second chance, and after several laps, this coaster has shot up to my number 2 overall. It's now the best wooden coaster I've done and my favorite coaster in America. The airtime is relentless, and there's so much of it. The ride's length is something else entirely I can't even explain. I just couldn't believe how good it really was. That retracking made a huge difference. The ride was brutal, and now it's super smooth and the smoothest ride in the park. Huge props to Holiday World for maintaining such an amazing coaster, and I cannot wait to go back each and every year and ride this beast. Number 1, Taran. I re-rode this ride earlier this year to see if I was just freaking out over my first experience. Was it just all the hype going in? I need to give it a second chance and see what this ride is all about. And nope, it remains as my all-time favorite roller coaster. The launches are incredibly forceful, the airtime is intense, the transitions are lightning fast. This ride moves at such a high speed, and it flows through each element with such intensity that you're left wondering what just happened the entire time. It's mind-blowing how this coaster fits in the space it occupies, constantly crossing over itself. It's intense, has the perfect length, and the theming is great. It truly has everything you could want in a coaster. I had no idea what to expect before riding it, but I can confidently say that Taran is the best roller coaster in the world. And there you have it, my top 25 favorite roller coasters in the world for 2024. I hope you all enjoyed the list. Let me know if you agree with any of the placements, and if not, I totally get it. Everyone has their own opinion, so comment down your favorite roller coasters you got to ride this year. Thank you for watching, and if you are ever in need of non-copyrighted footage, make sure you check out my second channel, TPH Productions, and if you enjoy the content you see here, then don't forget to subscribe, as that is the best way to support the channel. As always, this is Hunter from Theme Park Hunting, and I will see you all later.